Easy Food, Ireland's #1 food magazine. Proud sponsor of Saturday AM Cookery.
Yes, it's all about savoury pastry in the kitchen today. Caroline Gray, editor of Easy Food magazine. We are loving your work this morning.
That's it.
And for lunch, we've got a chicken, bacon and mushroom pie.
Yes, so this is perfect comfort food, great in the winter, especially like post-Christmas if you wanted to throw in leftover ham and turkey in it.
Yes.
Now, what is it about the great old chicken pie? Because when it was mentioned in the office during the week, about 3 or 4 people instantly said, oh, brilliant, I'll be definitely taking this recipe down.
That's the thing. It's just one of those, I suppose you always kind of grow up eating it anyway, and you kind of get away from it sometimes. So when you actually have it again, it's just absolute comfort food. It's all these flavors you love anyway, from like the chicken or bacon, kind of hearty mushrooms. The flavors all work so well together. And it's really impressive. It's totally a winner.
And it's easy to make. Tommy could make it.
Easy.
Well, see, this is what I wasn't going to bring this up, but I did add it to the old repertoire there a while, and it was actually...
Is that 2 recipes now, is it?
No, well, it was asked by the other members of my family to take it off the repertoire.
Oh,
why?
It didn't go down well. I think, and this is what I'm really interested to see, I think the chicken, I was using breast of chicken, and it got really dried out and tough by the time.
Sure, it kind of cooks again.
Yeah,
then.
so they were there chewing away.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
Please
love
no more
this
of your
chicken jerky.
pie.
Maybe
So I'm really
overcooked.
interested to see how this turns out.
Yeah. What chicken are you using?
So I have kind of, well, it is a lot of white meat in here, but it's a whole leftover roast chicken, so there is dark meat in it as well.
But it's not just, breast, it's thigh, and
Exactly.
it's good also.
It's the thigh.
Chicken
it's just-
pies are great because
they
they're
really
so
are.
succulent and
Yeah.
soft.
That's the thing, and they hold up really well to kind of cooking again. Now, the key is, though, as well, is to get a lot of nice hearty and kind of creamy flavors in otherwise so that it doesn't dry out.
Right. Yeah.
So with we have kind of...
And
so
once it's obviously cooked, so it doesn't need to cook anymore and dry out anymore.
That's
so,
the thing.
got it. Okay,
Exactly,
I think I have it now.
So
We're back in the menu, folks.
that's it. So it's really easy. Everything kind of cooks in the pan, and then it's going to get transferred into a baking dish.
Okay.
If you had one of the big, heavy, kind of like cruise dishes, that's perfect. So you can just cover it right away with the pastry.
Are you
as well.
cooking the bacon in butter or oil?
Butter?
Good on you.
Yes, I am. Sure, it's covered in pastry anyway. We may as well.
Nice way of justifying that one.
That's
Now, you've
the
got the bacon, you can use lardons, obviously, that are already cooked, but you've got them quite chunky. So this is a chunky chicken pie.
Exactly. So you can kind of use a bit of everything. I suppose, like, the nice thing about this is it kind of does mirror maybe what you would have as leftovers. If you had a bit of ham left over, or if you were...
Yeah, it's chunky bacon, Caroline. Is that bacon that you got the butcher to
exactly.
cut down into chunks rather than sliced up?
Exactly. So it's still smoked. That's going to, add that nice depth of flavor. And it works really well with, again, the flavors that we have going on between the mushrooms. Then we're going to add thyme a little bit later.
What are you doing there?
So this, I actually just added some chopped green onions, so spring onions there. You could definitely just use normal, regular white onions or red onion, but the color kind of works really well, and it's not going to be too overpowering. So a little bit of garlic in there. So these just kind of cook up just until it's sealed, really, because like we were saying, they're going to cook in the pie anyhow. So it's just to kind of wilt them down a little bit. So you can see the mushrooms getting soft, the bacon's kind of or the ham there, it's just sort of, sealing anyway. Okay, and then we're just going to put, this is just thyme. So it's fresh thyme, just peeled right off of the sprigs. The nice thing about thyme as well, you don't really have to chop it because it's so small anyway. Yeah.
It's okay to have the little twiggy bits, is it?
Yeah, little twiggy bits. It's, you want to get off as many as you can, but the ones especially towards the top of the sprig are so soft. They're kind of the same texture nearly as the leaves. Toward the bottom, it is quite woody, and you want to make sure to get those off. There we go. And so, this is, again, kind of a nice winter version of the pie.
I have pastry envy just looking in the oven there. I made chicken pie earlier on in the week, Tuesday or Wednesday evening, and it was very tasty. But the pastry was a bit soggy.
Was it?
Yeah.
So that's one of the tricks we're going to kind of mention in a little bit, is just that you want this to cool before you put the pastry on, because if you put it onto a hot pie,
that's what
there we go.
Did you just put flour in there?
I did just put some flour in there. So this is going to just help it thicken up a little bit.
Just a little bit of flour.
Just a little bit of flour, just to coat everything, and then we're going to add chicken stock.
Okay.
And then the stock, just if you were kind of making a roux, it combines with the flour to just thicken everything.
So is it 450 ml, or you've got like a half a litre?
This is I put in about 150 here.
Okay.
So depending on how thick you do want it.
You gotta just go by
that, exactly.
Yeah.
So this, we're going to just let it kind of cook. It's going to thicken up, but what we're going to add to it to give it the creaminess is this is creme fraiche, and then we're going to get some whole grain mustard in there. So if you wanted, you could use milk instead, but with the creme fraiche, it already kind of does the creamy bit for you, and it's just such a lovely, the texture.
Push you along, Caroline. We're struggling for time here.
Oh, yeah.
I
So,
want to get a taste.
of course. So let's just get these in there. We're going to let it thicken up.
Okay.
And then here's
So you leave
the
it on
pie.
the pan
So you
there
leave
for
it on
another
the
few
pan.
minutes, and
Exactly.
then-
So just let that thicken up, cook away. And then here's one when...
So it cooks down to that.
So it cooks down to that
Thickness.
consistency, and you're going to stir the chicken in also.
Right, okay.
That's the thing. So that's really going to, you know...
And again, it's my mistake. Just try not to cook the chicken anymore.
Don't cook the chicken too much. So that's it. So we kind of have it cooled here.
So this is the cooled after,
one.
what, half an hour, 45 minutes, that kind of thing?
Exactly. It doesn't even need that much, even if it's like 15 or so.
Okay.
So you can just put your dish, say, right over a sheet of pastry,
Yep.
cut that out.
Clever trick.
And are you going to, you're going to put a little bit of egg on
Egg
it
wash.
as well?
That's the glue.
Okay.
So you got the glue going right
I think I got a
around.
bit excited
Slap
with
it
the
on
egg
top.
wash. That's why I actually thought it was too soggy, but it's not. It was because I didn't.
So let the mixture cool.
That's
Top-
it.
That's the top tip.
Yeah, let the mixture cool. So a little bit, just brush the top with a little bit more egg.
Sure.
And the holes let the heat
I
out.
want you-
The
Have the
holes
seeds
with
for?
the heat in. That's just for garnish, really.
lovely.
So we're just going to put that straight over the top,
Sesame
and then
seeds.
sesame seeds. You can do poppy seeds either; they're really nice.
And how long does it go in for?
So that's at 200 for 35 to 40 minutes.
Lovely. And here is the finished product.
Here
and it
is a
looks
finished product.
What would you serve it with,
sensational.
Caroline? Like a
So
side
you can
salad?
serve it
or-
definitely with a side salad. You know, depending on who's eating, the kids or whatever, they just might want it on its own.
Yeah.
It's coming back, Martin family. It's coming back onto the menu.
I'd be delighted if you present something like that to them.
I don't know.
I don't know either if you
They're
can.
fussy. What can I say?
Fussy
They've had too
crowd.
many
That
bad
looks
experiences
delicious.
with my cooking.
And of course, the recipes
Tell you
from
what.
today's dish
Just
are
dig
on
right in.
our website as well.
We'll have a little
There you go,
taste
Tom.
in a minute. All
Yeah.
today's recipes are up on the website, as Laura says. But up next, they're brewing up a storm. The stunning will be
wait.
here after the break.
See you in a few.
Easy Food, Ireland's #1 food magazine. Now available in all good newsagents.